How y'all doing? Come on in here. Kick it with me and Rocky. Rocky chilling with me today. Kick it with me and Rocky. What's up, Rocky? Tell the people what's up. Nah, my little nigga sleep. Little nigga sleep. What's up, y'all? No, you ain't sleep, nigga. Oh, you ain't sleep. You ain't sleep, baby boy. You ain't sleep, baby boy. What's up, y'all? Come on in here. Let's have a discussion today. This is a subject that I touch on fairly often, but I figured we're going to have a whole show talking about this today. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about Kool Moe Dee, that interview he did with Willie D, and also Suge Knight's interview. I'm going to get around to that, but... Hey, we'll see Rocky over here. Rocky over here. Look at him. Look at him. Rocky over here chilling. Rocky over here chilling, like, you know. Rocky over here being spoiled. What's up, baby boy? This nigga Go-Go starting off with the heat. He said Bruno's a glorified lounge singer. Hey, nigga, chill. I'm just getting started, Go-Go. You ain't gotta come out. You ain't gotta come out with the motherfucking AK, nigga. Just nigga, let me shoot some arrows first. This nigga Go-Go just came out with the fucking AK-47 rocket launcher. What's up, Dre? What's up, Andrew Como? Nene. Nigga, Go-Go a fool. What's up, C Diggs? I ain't get Rocky from no kennel. The homegirl gave me Rocky. She couldn't have. The homegirl gave us Rocky. She was like, Y'all remember Kamira White from All That Digital? Kamira been in the shadows lately. That's still my nigga right there. She one of my favorite people on earth. Kamira got a new family, got a baby, has a child, and Rocky was doing the most. So I was like, shit, I'll take him. Appreciate that, Bruce. What's up, Reggie? Hey, Reggie, I was about to hit you up, man. That weed we smoked yesterday, that shit was good to the motherfucker. Honestly, I meant to hit you back to chip some of that shit off you. And also, it was at the Reggie Airways. He had me smoking some shit yesterday. That shit was good. That shit was like, okay. That shit was nice. It was nice. Yeah. Reggie, if you still up, when I'm done with this, hell yeah, I come on through, smoke some more shit. If you still up when I'm done with this, yeah, I come through. I wasn't going to the Improv tonight, but I ain't going to the Improv. Yeah. Somebody said, "What's up, big man?" Nothing much, ugly man. How you doing? You air frying baby backs. God damn. Yeah, so. Yeah, we chilling. Come on in here. We're going to talk. We got to have this conversation. Again, this is a subject that I touch on quite often, but I wanted to make it its own subject today, you know? The music frauds and how music frauds have been taken and stealing from the quality of our music the whole time. And this goes back actually before Elvis, but if I put Benny Goodman's face up there, y'all would have been like, who's that? Y'all have been like, who is that? So I couldn't put Benny Goodman or Paul Newman or those guys up. I could have. It's a lot. It's a lot of faces I could have put up. Cher from Cher to the. I could have used the Beatles as an example. The Beatles, the Rolling Stones as an example. It's a lot of examples I could have used, but I went with the faces that you niggas will recognize. And Elvis is most definitely. I'm not Elvis. I said Elvis. Jay-Z is most definitely on the list with all the white boys. All right, because it's usually a nigga that shows the white boys how to do it and how to steal. And these days, it's not just white boys. Bruno Mars is not a white boy, you know. Drake is a half white boy. The frauds are from within and from without. So when I'm done rolling this blunt, we gonna get into it. All right. When I'm done rolling this, we gonna get into it. You good, Rocky? You good, my little nigga? Mm-hmm. We about to talk about these music frauds because here's the reason. Let's talk about why. Why are we having this conversation? Let's talk about the why. Then we'll get into it. The reason why we're having this conversation is because outside of a few examples here and there, music is in a really fucked up place right now. It's in a really bad place. It's in a really bad place. It's in a really bad place. Outside of a few examples here and there. And why did my music stop? Oh, that's why, because my computer went to sleep. Let me turn my music on, then we don't get talking about it. There we go. I'm not gonna hit the Goody Mob first. Here we go. Gonna play this first, then we're gonna get to it. Here's why. Music is something that's delivered from the heart. When it's done right. And popular music is always gonna be a more simplified version of music, Like I'm sorry if I say I don't expect jazz to ever be popular music. Matter of fact, the only time jazz has ever been a popular form of music was during the swing generation. I'm not saying everybody has to listen to Mozart and Duke Ellington and Coltrane but what I'm saying is this: music has a major healing power. When it's done right, music is healing. It's healing. It's healing. It's healing. And when you start getting these frauds in music, it goes from a healing thing to just a money grab. Because these frauds, they take from the real deal. And the real deal gets pushed to the side. Oftentimes, the real deal has the healing components within their music that can really do something for us. But the real deal get ignored. And we, as consumers, we lose. Because the real musicians and the real singers and the real artists, they all have messages from the universe that the universe communicates to them to give to us. But what happens is these frauds, because of payola, radio, corporatization of music, the real deal gets pushed to the side and we get force fed these frauds. And I'm not here to hear nobody come in this chat talking about, oh, you just hating. Anybody talking about hating, mods, don't give them a long time out, but give them a good, like, give them 60 seconds at first. Just let them know that this is not a safe place. This isn't a safe space for dumbasses, okay? I want to be very clear to all the dumbasses out there that this is not a safe space for you, all right? This is a safe space for thinkers. People who ask questions, but not people who are coming in with declarative statements. Oh, you're just hating. You dickheads, this isn't a place for you. This isn't the room for y'all. This is a room for people who love music from the heart. Because we've been cheated. Appreciate that, girl speaks. You're right. You're right. This is a learning space. Think before you type. Listen before you type. So that's why we have this conversation. That's why we're having this conversation. This is not about hate. This is about those of us who really, 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 really love music. It's about us. Because we've been overlooked for far too long. For people who a good song to them is whatever sold the most. That sold more songs than the other, so it's better. Those idiots have had enough time to talk. And there are a million YouTube channels out there talking about record sales, talking about who look better than who, talking about who's your top 5. That is 99% of the people who talk about music. Go to one of those channels if you want one of those bullshit-ass conversations. That ain't what this channel's about. And of course, we start with Elvis. Because Elvis is probably the brightest light when it comes to of what people are noticing about it. And I'm starting with Elvis for 2 reasons. Because not only is he one of the he was one of the earlier examples of this, I'm also using him as an example because he, just like Drake, just like Jay-Z, just like Eminem, just like Bruno Mars, immensely talented. So this is about talent. What's up, Aries? I don't want nobody coming here saying, well, they're talented. Everybody mentioned is talented. But here's the thing when it comes to Black America. Black America talent is a dime a dozen. The best singer you ever heard in your life is at your church. If you go and watch Smokey Robinson's R&B, go watch his interview on R&B Money Podcast with Tank. Smokey said, if you think you can sing, I'm going to take you down to this church and Sister Wilson going to sing you through the table. So I don't want nobody coming in talking about, this isn't a conversation on talent. Yes, all of these people are immensely talented. Elvis is talented, and Elvis, has certain levels of authenticity to him. Elvis used to go to the black side of town and hang out on Beale Street in Memphis. He went and enrolled in a black church. Elvis actually sang in a black choir. I got to give Elvis credit from the point of view of he did that, and Elvis always gave credit. Elvis gave credit. The media didn't give credit to where Elvis got it from, but Elvis never lied about it. Elvis gave credit to where he got the game from. He did. He did not lie. So I got to give Elvis that kind of credit. But when you look at the people and the artists and Elvis took moves from, they were all much more talented. And they sang the songs like Jailhouse Rock. They sang it and played it with a groove that could not be imitated, and it had much more of a feeling to it. See, the key to Black American music, when it's at its best, one of the keys is the feeling. the feeling you play a song is more important than the technical part. When you get these Bruno Mars types, when you get these Drake types, it sounds good. But if you tapped in, it don't feel good. You know, it's egg whites with no salt and pepper. You dig? It's cheese pizza. You know, it's a sandwich with just bread and bologna. No lettuce, no mayo, no mustard. You know, it's barbecue with no barbecue sauce, no seasoning. But since music is an involuntary response to our like it involuntarily talks to our subconscious, if it makes you do this, you're probably going to listen. The tempo right, the sound right, you probably going to listen. Music, black music in particular, but music overall, because there's some, I'm not, because there are a lot of white musicians that ain't frauds at all. They're great. Music overall has been devolved since the 70s. But they really targeted black music more than anybody else because they know that everyone else follows what we do, you know? They really targeted our music. And back in the day, and I'm gonna get to why they're frauds in a little bit, but let me tell you about, let me give you a quick little synopsis as to how this happened with the destruction of our music. In the 60s and the 70s, you used to have like these people called one-stop distributors. If you were a record company that released something, you can go to a local promoter, and that local promoter was a one-stop in that city. And they would make sure, because they had relationships with the DJs in that city, they would break an album or break a song. And then they would go city to city to city breaking songs until it went national. But that's because you had independent black radio. You had a lot of black businesses that advertised and supported that black radio. You had black labels. And when it came time to working with them other folks, look, just because a person racist don't mean they don't want that bread. So black artists had no issues working with black and oftentimes white and Jewish one-stop distributors and promoters in different towns. Because it's a lot of people, no matter if they're racist or not, all they care about is that green. So we used to be able to work with these type people. The one-stops and independent radio, that got taken out basically in the 70s and the 80s. And it got completely wiped out in the 90s. So in the 90s, you get caught with what you have now. They could throw anybody out there and put them on the radio 5 times an hour, and you're going to like them. Going back to the Elvis days, they did that. A popular thing back in the Elvis days was to hear a black song get put on black radio, and then the majors would get a white artist to cover that song oftentimes the same week. A song gets put out, oh, that shit's hot. And they would get a white singer to sing that black song and put the white singer's stuff out nationally, while the black singer is still having to go to these one-stop promoters city to city. And by the time that white song hit the radio's airways coast to coast, it drowns out the black artists. Pat Boone, yeah. Pat Boone, and it wasn't just him, it was a lot of them. It was mostly your white acts of the 40s and the 50s. So by the time you get to the 60s, somebody said, wasn't that Simply Red? Holding back the years, Thinking that I've made the stone, I'll keep holding on. I'll keep. My bad. Yeah, Archie Lee, Simply Red. But Simply Red was, but so, yeah, he was a one hit wonder. And so, you said it's about your bedtime, Evelyn? You ain't got to announce that to us. Tell your girlfriend I'll be in there pretty soon, all right? Yeah, that was a cold track, though. It was. So the white artists, they got when black artists were having to use these one stops to promote records city to city, they would hear a white act would hear it and take it out nationally. And then you get to the 60s. Hey, how you doing? When you get to the 60s, you get to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and the Animals and Elton John and those guys. So now you got the British invasion. And what the British invasion did was they played a lot of the songs that black artists like Howlin' Wolf and Chuck Berry did. But those Howlin' Wolf songs would get stuck on black radio. And the Beatles and the Rolling Stones came and redid the same songs and got nationwide distribution. The Who, yeah, which takes us to where we are now. So, when it comes to it, how that plays out now is the one stops got taken out. And now what they do with the record industry, they took out the black labels. There's no more black radio, really. All the black radio, really, they're still trying to get white dollars. And black radio had a lot to do with this because in the 70s, in the 80s, black radio, especially in the 80s, black radio could have held strong and kept playing black-leaning music. But a lot of your black radio wanted to please white folks. So they started playing black acts that sounded white. Jeffrey Osborne went from that LTD sound to the pop sound. Peabo Bryson, you go down the line. James Ingram, all great singers. But they started to intentionally whiten up these black singers because that whole Blue Eyed Soul / yacht rock era, with Steely Dan and those guys, Malcolm McDonald, you had the white boys trying to sound black. And instead of the black people getting blacker, they tried to get whiter. And that opened the door. Yeah, Bob Skaggs and all them. Black acts, and the black acts that didn't try to sound whiter got penalized. Isley Brothers, George Clinton, Funkadelic, Frankie Beverly and Mays. These guys stayed black. Yeah, Lionel Richie was white sounding. And I know that whole story. Mr. Carmichael told me himself about how they crossed over Lionel Richie. And once they did that song Easy Like Sunday Morning with the Commodores, that was his cross. That was Lionel Richie's introduction to the white sound. And actually, I gotta say, my father-in-law, Mr. James Carmichael, is the producer that really figured out the formula of crossing a black artist over into white. As far as how when you got into the 80s. Mr. Carmichael was really the first one to really take a funk artist, a black funk artist, and turn him into a white sound. I got those stories firsthand, and most of them I got recorded. So, no, Hendrix wasn't white. Hendrix played the blues. He just played it with a louder amp. Hendrix was playing straight up Muddy Waters, straight up Rosetta Tharpe. Hendrix was playing T-Bone Walker. He just was playing it with a very loud amp. He wasn't being white. So they, as we start to whiten our sound, what happens with white supremacy? When you capitulate to what white folks want, at some point they'll just wipe you out. We capitulated and whitened our sound in the 80s. And as the 80s went further and further along, our sound got whiter and whiter. And it just lessened the quality. Not in the, except for when we did it initially, we listened to All Night Long and a lot of that Lionel Richie, it was still extremely complex music. Extremely complex. But that's how it starts. And yeah, Part-Time Lover by Stevie Wonder, that was all that tempo thing of the 80s. You know, we're going to do tempo. Everything had to be at 130 beats, 125 beats a minute. Part-Time Lover. You know? So I'm bringing us up because black people, we generally give the formula on how to do it to them. And so we devolve our sound. You know, we lessen our sound. We take groove out of it. We make it faster. You know? Less complex. And when we lower our bar, that allows others to catch us. When we running, can't nobody catch us. If you notice, nobody can imitate the black church still. When we go gospel, when we sing without auto-tune, when we do groups and sing doo-wop and the 4-piece, 5-piece harmony, 3-piece, 3-part harmony, 4-part harmony, nothing. Like, pay attention. When you go back to the 70s, let's watch a TV commercial now. All those white acts outsold everybody. But if they're going to play a song from the 60s or the 70s, 7 times out of 10, it's a black artist. 7 times out of 10. They'll tell you that the Beatles were better than the Temptations, but if they want to sell a product, they're going to probably play a Temptation song before they play a Beatles song. Pay attention. Pay attention to the music you hear, the oldies and the TV commercials and the movies. Look at the NBA. Watch the NBA. The NBA, they play James Brown cutting to commercial. Like 3 out of 4 commercial breaks, the NBA is playing James Brown. Pay attention. Yeah, them other people, they sold the most, but 30 years later, it's the black music that's getting played on TV commercials and in movies. Because that's what stands the test of time. What's up, Reparation, Jen? Yeah, DM Senator, yeah, I can't highlight, but yeah, Reed, he just said he right. Now the Neil Sedaka, yeah. But pay attention. Pay attention. 30 years later, 20 years later, they're playing the black music. Because of quality. You can sell all you want the first week some shit come out. But what gets played 30 years later is the quality. Yeah, we did two shows on we did a show on Angie Stone yesterday. Go and watch it. That was Rest in Peace, Angie Stone. which is why maybe Andy Stone's why I thought about Bruno Mars and put him on his thumbnail. So that's the backstory. Now let's get into why I have these 5 people on the thumbnail. We already got through Elvis. Then you get the Bruno Mars type. Andy Stone died chasing down Bruno Mars for, what's that song? Uptown Funk. Biting off her shit. You get somebody like a Bruno Mars that can become worldwide famous while the great Angie Stone had to still perform and ride around in a Sprinter van instead of flying city to city on a private jet. Her music made more than enough money for her to fly around on a private jet city to city when she wanted to tour, but she didn't get it. So we don't get Angie Stone enough of her, a woman at the forefront of hip hop and neo soul and 80s and 90s rhythm and blues, 2000s. We don't get a woman of that level of substance, but we get Bruno Mars instead. Do y'all see how where this is costing us? We don't get Shantae Moore, we don't get Joe, we don't get Ruben Studdard. His career just fizzled out, but we get The Weeknd. Just bland, rhythmless blues. That's what I call it. I call it rhythmless blues, nigga. That shit ain't got no fucking rhythm, and it's barely blues, nigga. Call that shit, nigga, the powder blues, nigga. Rhythmless powder blues is what we get. Adele, she one of the biggest frauds ever. Down on the other side, I mean, just flat, atonal, surface level lyrics. Just none of that, no body to the voice. Yeah, Bruno's on the drink, yeah. Why does somebody as great as Anderson .Paak have to play the side dude to Bruno Mars on that project? Bruno Mars' name is first over Anderson .Paak. Anderson .Paak's the real deal. But Bruno Mars is the one that gets the worldwide renowned status. Nigga Biz Martinez say she work in IT. But again, it starts when we lower our style. When we lower the quality of our music, it's open for everybody. Yeah, Jill Scott's. I was so disappointed in black women when Adele dropped that last album. I remember it was 2012 or 13. Jill Scott dropped 2 albums. It was her Hidden Beach Recordings unreleased, and the other one was she had to go. I forgot the name of the album. I'm drawing a blank. I see the album cover on my face, but I'm forgetting the name. And both albums were masterpieces. And women was playing Down on the Other Side. I was like, what the fuck? I heard black women singing Adele. I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Force that shit down our throats. Yeah, we pulled our soul out, the music. I said, what am I sipping on? That's a red blend from Rancho Squad Winery, right behind Michael Jackson's Never Neverland Ranch in Los Olivos. So again, chat room, are you seeing where we lowered the quality of our sound? Where we lose out as consumers of music. This is where we lose out. We lose because we don't get that richness. We don't get the substance. We don't get the feeling. And we don't get the lyrical content. Which takes me to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is their boy. And I've talked about Jay-Z before, and Beyonce too. Jay-Z and Beyonce are one of the same. Not only are they married, they've stolen from a lot of people. And they were the chosen ones to continue their careers when everyone else and those with even more talent got pushed to the side. A lot of great talent got pushed to the side for Jay-Z and Beyonce to exist. When you're right, Frank D. When Nas, Larry reminds me, Hot 97 had after Ether dropped, they had a poll in New York radio. The streets chose Nas. 3 out of 4. The streets chose Nas. The corporations chose Jay-Z. Remember this about Jay-Z. Jay-Z's an old ass nigga. Jay-Z's older than Nas. Hell, I think he's older than Cube. I think Jay-Z's older than Cube because they have his birthday on here is 69. About I think he's older than I think he's born before 69. I think he's born before. Let me see. What's Jay-Z age? Okay, they have him at 55. Okay, he's the same age as Ice Cube. Ice Cube busted out in like 87? Jay-Z was around. Jay-Z had been doing music, been on the scene since like 90, 91. Jay-Z, let me play this. Jay-Z was around during the golden age of hip hop. He was actually on the scene. But people forget he didn't bust through. Jay-Z was on the scene in 92. He was on the scene before Outkast. Jay-Z was on the scene before a lot of people. He been here. Let's not forget that we gotta go back to time and context. Early 90s, hip hop wasn't an old man's game. It used to be by the time you were 30, you were considered too old to rap. Y'all remember that? Press the number 1 if you remember. By the time you got to 30, you should retire. You're too old to be rapping at 30. Who remembers that? Niggas be like, nigga, you 30 still rapping? What are you doing? You were too old to rap. At least the guys who made it past 30 were hot when they were 25, 24. Rakim. See, Rakim, that's the real deal. Too much sauce. And he still can rap, still got great breath control. I saw him last year live. Yeah, B Dizzle, 25 was old at one time. DJ X1, you probably young to make that comment. Sit back and listen. I appreciate the comment. We're talking about the time and context of 1993, what hip hop was talking in 93. We ain't talking about now. In 93, if you was 30, you was too goddamn old to be rapping. Yeah, Jay-Z's on tour. Jay-Z was always around. He was around, but he could not break through. When did Jay-Z break through? After Big Daddy Kane fell off, he took Big Daddy Kane's style. He took so many people's style that the industry no longer decided to back. See, in the 80s and the early 90s, we were the industry. We said what was hot. After 96, 97, they said what was hot. Because of the 1996 Telecommunications Act that corporatized radio, a lot of your black radio labels started getting bought up as you get through the 90s. Suge Knight's stupid ass go to jail, been a fucking idiot. And then Clive Davis has always been behind Bad. See, we got to look at Bad Boy. Bad Boy was Clive Davis the whole time. Clive Davis is the reason why we never heard Whitney Houston's voice. Clive Davis, because Whitney Houston was never allowed to sing what she wanted to sing into that song Baby Tonight, and I think she was 30. Baby Tonight was the first song Whitney Houston sang that she wanted to sing. Clive Davis had an ironclad control of her career and kept her in that poppy, milquetoast style music, which she did not want to sing, but she had to. Clive Davis is Bad Boy Records, not Puffy. Puffy's just a nigga they put out front. Clive Davis is Bad Boy Records. Make no mistake about it, not Puffy. Puffy's just the face nigga. You dig what I'm saying? And then you got Master P. But when Master P dropped, what did they do to counteract Master P? Cash Money. With a nigga like Birdman as the face nigga. But the white boys put their money behind him. Yeah, Jazzo and all those guys that Jay-Z, when all of those guys no longer had industry backing because they didn't have industry because their record labels got bought out, a lot of shuffling happened. Jay-Z took style from this person, would take that person's rhyme pattern, and just totally take a song. 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. I remember when he dropped that. I was like, because there used to be a no biting rule in rap. One of the early rules of rap music was no biting. No biting. Jay-Z, who had been around since the late 80s, early 90s, could not break through on his own as an original. As an original, nobody wanted to hear Jay-Z. Nobody. Jay-Z didn't become palatable to our ears until he started taking everybody else's fucking lines. Till Biggie died and he could take all his shit. He could take Lauryn Hill lines. Take Eddie Murphy jokes and turn them into a song. That's when Jay-Z became relevant. After the people that he was stealing from couldn't get their shit released anymore because the industry changed. But when the people had a chance to choose, the people didn't choose Jay-Z. He was around. I wouldn't be having this conversation if Jay-Z started in 2002. No, I'm having this conversation because Jay-Z started when all the real niggas was around and nobody cared about him. You right? Said Jay-Z started that beef with Nas, Lisa? Yeah. So his name be linked to Nas. Yeah. Jay-Z never broke through when it was time to break through. When all the real niggas were gone and there was a vacuum in music, Jay-Z started putting out 2 albums a year, and half of the words on them albums was somebody else's. And biting somebody else's lines went from being whack to, oh, this is Jay-Z, it's okay. So what did that do? It lowered the bar. Right, girls, we don't like turn on Jay-Z. Jay-Z reminded us, he was a nigga that reminded us of Biggie. DMX was definitely better than Jay-Z, yeah. My nigga Amir. You ain't too late, my brother, are you? So, again, this isn't about how you feel. And again, I always make this disclaimer. Like what you like. There's still certain Jay-Z songs that I still like that I'm always going to play. I don't like anything Drake ever did, so I'm never going to play him. I just never liked Drake. And he was coming on. Drake came out when I used to be in the clubs 5 days a week. So he's definitely within my generation. And the nights that when I was in the clubs was Drake's hottest years. And Drake never caught on to me. Even when I was in the club hearing him every night. I used to run across Drake fairly often. Because I used to hang with like a lot of niggas in the NBA. And Drake would always be around. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's DeMar DeRozan. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, shit. Westbrook. Yo, Brooke. What's up, bro? I've seen it. I've been sitting in there. And then here come Paul George. Oh, yeah. Paul George. Oh, yeah. Indiana Pacers. Oh, man, you were dope, man. Man, LeBron's just better. No, LeBron got you, man, but you're dope, man. I've been 10 feet from Drake having that conversation with him having that conversation with players at All-Star Weekend. I've been like literally, and I'm talking about for a few years in a row when I used to still be out. I'm from LA, nigga. I run across everybody. Not no more now because I'm a fucking square. But 10 years ago when I was in the club, I'm from LA. And I walk and get to the front of it. Not no more. I ain't got no juice no more, but I had juice back then, front of the line. He said Jay-Z's a Triple H of rap. Triple H wasn't better than The Rock or Stone Cold, but he was an opportunist. Now he's CEO of WWE. That's a good one, Big Hank. Mere 2,500, you hear it. No, that's really how Drake sounds. So you get a Drake who's also a mimicker, but by the time Drake is an actor. He's an extremely talented actor. The same way you have people who can act out of movie roles, you have people who can really imitate music and mock music and act it out. You write the song, you put it together. They may even have enough of a pen because he has talent. He might be able to knock out a few songs himself. But if he was gonna be the only one writing the songs, he'd have been a 1 album, 2 album artist. AJ from Pomona, salute. So Drake is an actor. And if you get the right production team around him and the right formula around him, he's good enough to act out a song and make it sound good enough. And I say sound good enough because He just released an album that people were trying to call R&B, and he never sang a note. Auto-tune like a motherfucker. Hell yeah, Sugar Free is colder than Drake and Jay-Z. Yes. That nigga Sugar Free, boy. Can you party up? So, because we allowed Jay-Z to lower the bar and biting everybody's lyrics and style was cool because Jigga did it, what does that do? Oh, come here, you little half-Jew boy. Come on over here. Ain't you Larry Graham's nephew? Oh, yeah, you got talent. Come on over here. We got some songs we want you to act out. You see how it works. This stuff doesn't come out of nowhere, yo. See, music is very, very key to our senses. So you can't shock us. If you're going to change things in music, you can't shock and bring a change. Happens gradually. Happens gradually. 73, 74, you target Curtis Mayfield, you target Aretha and James Brown for they have all that militancy in their lyrics. Those ultra militant lyrics, you target those people, those acts, and you have them water down their lyrics if they're to release anything. Then in 75, 76, by then you done bought up most of the smaller labels. And then by 70, what happened in 78, 77, during the Carter administration, the economy had gotten tight and people were buying less records. And so a lot of your smaller outfits, whatever held out was bought out, and whatever you couldn't buy out, you stole, like you did with Stax. Al Bell rescued Stax Records, that black man. Y'all need to look up Al Bell, one of the greatest. We talk about Berry Gordy, but Al Bell was just as cold. Hell, Al Bell saved Motown in the 80s. When he came back, they targeted Al Bell, and they literally stole Stax Records. They just came in and just said, you know what? They did some funny shit in the contracts with Atlantic Records, and they basically shut Stax Records down. Do you know this was Stax Records? This was right here. Do you know when Al Bell saved Stax Records? This was the hit that he dropped. Right when he tried to save it, this is the hit that he dropped. Shirley Brown, Woman to Woman. And then when that shit dropped, Atlantic was like, yeah, nah, fuck that. And they just killed Stax Records. How do you go out on that song? That song's so goddamn hot, and if you don't know, you better find out. And listen to Shirley Brown, Woman to Woman. So, and then what happens is when we have these music conversations, most people, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 people, y'all blame the artists. Well, they signed that deal. Oh, well, they should have knew better. Well, even when people know, and you're right, some people should know better. But even when they do, they just steal it. And you better hope you live long enough to get your shit back. Even, we talk about people who know better. They just take it. Appreciate the LA shot caller. So they take it. Yeah, watch that Stax documentary. So this is how it's done, y'all. And then by the time you get to the late 80s, late 70s, you start buying up stuff. Like they just fucked over George Clinton. George Clinton was about to do his own label, and they fucked him over. They stole Roger Troutman, Zapp and Roger from Zapp and Roger was about to sign with George Clinton. They stole him. You do what they did to Barry White. They get, and then whatever they couldn't steal, they gave a really big contract to, and just changed and would only release certain things. Like they gave Barry White a massive contract, but he couldn't use his orchestra anymore. He had to record this new way. He could no longer be the maestro. He had to change it up. And if you want to complete this 5-album deal, you're going to release what we tell you to release. They fucked over Luther Vandross. They took the richness out of Luther Vandross's music. So although Luther still kept putting out hits, that Nat Adderley, Marcus Miller, Paul Reiser on the strings, that combination got busted up, and the music became less rich sonically behind Luther. You lower the quality of the music. You take the live drummer out. This is something you can look up. You can't look it up, but it's called the Harvard Report. I've been looking for 10 years for this report. I cannot find the full report. I've only found pieces of it. And they figured out how to capitalize and monetize off of our market. And they stripped it down. And then Luther never put out a bad song. Songs like Dance to My Father, I'm not calling none of his music bad, but if I was on my computer, I'd play the difference. If you put Dance to My Father musically, the music that's playing with it, put that next to Don't You Know That first song. Doom, doom, doom. Put them two songs together. You're getting a completely different sonic experience. Luther just was so goddamn great. His voice went on top of it, but musically, the production, and it's not a bad production, but when you have keyboard strings instead of live strings, when you have a drum machine and not a drummer, when you got a bass line played on a keyboard, not a bass guitarist, when you don't have that live band, you lose the richness. It's the same difference between eating a fucking eating what do you call them prepared meals. The difference between the programmed music and live music is the difference between a frozen dinner and a fresh cooked dinner with fresh ingredients. Steak with natural seasonings and collard greens with a real turkey or ham hock and real seasoning in it versus the frozen dinner. That's the difference. The TV dinner is still going to fill you up. It's going to satisfy you. And if you stay on TV dinners long enough, you're going to get used to it. Here's the thing about it. You may say, okay, I ain't that shit. But if you're given a TV dinner 3 times a day, every day of your life, at some point you're going to be accustomed to TV dinners, and you'll see that fine prime rib from Mastro's and be like, and not see any difference in it. Like, or you'll eat it. You'll eat it and be like, oh, this is really good. But if you've been conditioned to frozen dinners, you're never going to truly appreciate what's over here unless you unplug from what you know and you cleanse yourself, your mind, and you get in and get into something different with intent. It'll happen then, but most people ain't gonna do that shit with intent. Most people are just gonna stick to what they know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing. I'm not judging. Nothing wrong with that. That's right, Evelyn. It's better than nothing. At TV dinners, better than nothing, and that's what Drake is. Drake's music is better than nothing. Bruno Mars is better than nothing. Eminem, ham, spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. Eminem come along. You got niggas talking about it's the rhyme pattern, because technically, nigga, you don't even know music enough to talk technically. Eminem is cheese toast. But he has great production behind him when he's with Dre. You know, you have a Nate Dogg on the hook, it's gonna be a good fucking song. You got Dre producing and Nate Dogg on the hook, you got a good song. I don't give a fuck who's rapping. I don't give a fuck who's rapping. Dre producing, Nate Dogg on the hook, good song. And he's produced some good, I'm not saying that he's had all bad music. Eminem has had some good songs. But it used to be in the early 90s when we talked about lyricism. Notice this. People have a whole conversation on lyricism, but not break down the meaning of any lyric. Oh, he put this word with that. Yeah, but what did he say? Part of lyricism is, okay, what story did you just tell? What did you say? And what did I get out of this story? That's lyricism. What did you say and what did I get out of it? When Eminem come around, it's just, that sounded hard. Lowering the bar. Now, when you get a Drake, man, Drake got hits, man. Drake's a clever writer. All right, but what's the content of the song? Okay, the content of Drake's music. Yes, Paul Wilson. The Harvard Report, Clive Davis, most definitely. He was the foot soldier for the Harvard Report. Because you got to remember, Clive Davis got arrested on some charges in '75, in the early '70s. So when you gotta remember that shit. Clive Davis was actually a pretty good goddamn A&R. Jim Brown discovered Earth, Wind & Fire, and Jim Brown turned Earth, Wind & Fire, Clive Davis onto Earth, Wind & Fire. And that's how Earth, Wind & Fire originally got signed to CBS. But Clive Davis had some charges on his ass. And then he came out, and all of a sudden, Clive Davis is doing some other shit. But that's another story. Back to Eminem. When you get to Drake, people could talk all day about his lyrics, but if you listen to Drake's lyrics, Drake ultimately has young fuckboy lyrics. Oh, I could take your girl. Ask yourself, fellas. Ask yourself, what does stealing other people's girls, even if you have the power to do so, what does that do for us collectively? What does that do for you? You want to steal a man's girl he has a child with her, 2 or 3 children? You want to take her? Is that what we bragging about? Is that a flex? Is that a flex? And that's nothing sloppy seconds. Like, it's kind of corny, honestly. It's kind of corny. Most of the players that I know that actually do and can steal girls, they don't need to go bragging about it. I know that much. I know some Coldplay ass niggas. They don't go around, no, they just do it. And they be real low key about it too. But usually that steal your girl shit is something that you do when you're in your teens, early 20s. Because when you're a young nigga, you do shit like that. But this nigga Drake is knocking on 40, still talking about that. Is that what we? John Davis said thoughts on mainstream rap. I'll get to that. Dot is the best. K Dot's the best. Yeah, but it is kind of gay to kind of want to run in behind another man's. You want to lick some another man's of a dude's. You know this nigga's Johnson was just in there last night, and you know that nigga. That's kind of gay, honestly, to push that. Okay, the lyrics are. And here's the trip part about Drake. 8 out of 10 of the people listening of the dudes listening to him are fucking cornballs. Not only are you niggas not stealing nobody girl, you can't find a girl of your own. That's why Drake on his last album, he had did that on with Party Next Door. He had one of them songs talking about, he had a song talking about, I'm gonna leave my girl to hang out with the fella tonight. Because truth is, most of these niggas, 8 out of 10 Drake fans ain't even got chicks like that. They don't. They're just like academics. Academics didn't get his first piece of pussy till he got his first YouTube check. That nigga did not get it before you. You could look at him and tell he's a corny ass nigga. Like, tell the truth. Most Drake fans are fucking corny ass niggas. They ain't getting nothing. So they live in vicariously through Drake, talking about I'll steal your girl when they ain't got a girl of their own. Think about that for a second. And they talk about Drake makes club bangers. Okay. You mean this era where nobody dances in the club? Name one Drake song that people dance to. So your flex is making club bangers that nobody dances to? I don't think that's a flex. And you can't fool me because when Drake was at his absolute best prime, I was in the club 6 nights a week. And I still check in every now and again now. Amir, shut your drunk ass up. Kiki, do you love me? Kiki, do you love me? Fuck out of here. So if we gonna talk about Drake's club bangers, we talking about club bangers that don't make nobody dance? What's been the theme of this whole live I've been doing so far? Lowering the bar. Now a club banger, you ain't even got to dance to it. But that was actually more so started with Lil Wayne. Same lineage of music, Cash Money. That was more so, that started with Lil Wayne. And then Lil Wayne was one that brought in like Yin Yang Twins, Get Low. People were dancing to Get Low. And so really the Lil Wayne era was the era that the club banger that nobody danced to came out. The Lil Wayne era was when, okay, these is club bangers that's played every night. And don't get me wrong, it was happening before Lil Wayne. It was happening before Lil Wayne. But when he came through was when it just got solidified, stamped. Club bangers that nobody dances to. Lowering the bar. And when Lil Wayne lowers the bar to where you ain't got no in the club and ain't nobody dancing. Everybody's sitting on their sidekick too. I know, because I was sitting on my sidekick too when that shit dropped. This little nigga Rocky is knocked the fuck out. This little nigga is knocked out, snoring like a motherfucker. That's my nigga right there. Oh, he just got up. Oh, he just got up. Oh no, I thought he was getting up. Oh no, you looking? You good, Rocky? You good? You up? Hey, tell everybody I said what's up, Rocky. Tell everybody what's up, baby boy. You reading their chat? Ain't Rocky, they ain't talking about shit. Rocky reading y'all like, man, they ain't talking about shit. You good, baby boy? You're starting to shred again. Oh yeah, Rocky reading chats. Like, what these niggas talking about? That's right, baby boy. But chat room, am I making sense? I'm not trying to sound like the old geezer. I was gonna talk about something else, but I just wanted to have this conversation with y'all tomorrow. Tonight. Like when I'm on my phone, I like more so interacting with y'all and more. When I be on my computer, I'll be more focused. I wanted to have this conversation on the phone. I'm just trying to draw a line because let me tell you something. Music has an evolutionary. You can trace a line through music. Nothing in music just starts with anybody. The point that I made in microphone check, I made the point. We don't know who the first rapper is. Because people will hear Pig B. Markham and they'll be like, that's the first rapper. Then they'll hear the Jubilaires. This is where rap come from. Then you hear then they'll see Cab Calloway. That's when rap started. No, nigga, we don't know. As long as we've been speaking English, we've been rapping. As long as we've been singing, we've been rapping. Rap is, as long as we've been speaking this language of English and had music, we've been rapping. Rap is just a part of music. And you can see it. You can hear rap in certain blues songs. You can hear rap in a lot of your jazz and a lot of your swing, especially in that swing era. You can hear rap in some of the things Fats Waller was doing, Cab Calloway, Louis Jordan. They're rapping. And they would go back and forth between rapping and singing. Yeah, because rap is just poetry to a beat. It really is poetry. It's poetry to a beat. Yeah, Dolomite was a rapper. Muhammad Ali was a rapper. Curtis Mayfield was a rapper. I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, I'm that nigga in the alley, I'm that brother, what you need? Come on now. Isaac Hayes was rapping. Like, I don't get into African tribes because I don't speak their language. I'm sure African tribes were rapping, but I don't go to Africa because when I teach, I stick to what I can prove. I don't know Swahili. To me, if somebody's speaking Swahili, I don't know if they're singing or rapping. I don't know none of that shit. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I don't know Yoruba or whatever language they speak in the Yoruba or the Igbo. I don't know none of their fucking languages. That's just out of respect. So I know that also I know this. There's an evolution in music. And also know this. Music is a sonic interpretation of your immediate environment. Your music comes from the TV you watch, your uncle's interaction with your auntie, your relationship with your brother and your sister, shit that y'all laugh about. That's where the music comes from. The church you go to, how something that happened there inspired you to write. You saw something happen at church and you write a song about it. Music isn't something that comes from Africa. African music is in Africa. Music comes from where you stand. That's why Motown, same Motown records, sounds distinctly different Detroit and LA. LA Motown don't sound nothing like Detroit Motown. Same record label. People will be like, they'll hear some people from LA do some music, they'll be like, well, they're still from the South. Well, I promise you this, if they stayed down South, the music wouldn't sound like that. Nate Dogg wouldn't sound like Nate Dogg had he stayed in the South. Because the South has a different temperature, a different tempo, a different groove. Nate Dogg would have sounded like his environment. Nate Dogg moved to LA. He went to Long Beach Poly. He sounded like LA because that's where he grew up. Snoop Dogg, Barry White. People are like, well, Barry White was born in Galveston. Well, I tell you this goddamn much. If he stayed in Galveston, you wouldn't have had that full-ass orchestra, because that orchestra sound that Barry White did is not a Galveston sound. String arrangement and lush music, that's a completely LA groove. That's a LA groove. Eden Remix said LA sounds like an intellectual version of the South. I could rock with that. I could rock with that. Al Green styles and sound, Al Green wouldn't have sounded like Al Green had he not left Memphis. Had Al Green not had Al Green left the South, he wouldn't have sounded like Al Green. Yeah, it was a dope take on the West. Yeah, I had Frankie Beverly Mays stayed in Philadelphia and not moved to San Francisco and then to LA, they would not have sounded the same. Frankie Beverly Mays was a Philadelphia band, they're Philadelphia based, but it was really when they moved to California, when they moved to San Francisco and got that, and they got that Bay Area stew, that Bay Area admixture. That's what made them take off. That Bay Area energy. No, Diamond in the Back, that's William Devine. That's not Curtis Mayfield. Brother Felix speak. That's William Devine. You good, Rocky? You good, baby boy? Rocky over here sitting up. You good? Mm-hmm. No, that's William Devine. William Devine. Yeah, the mainstream forgets about Oakland. Allergies, buddy? There you go, buddy boy. Rocky be having these allergies. There you go, baby boy. There you go. There you go, baby boy. All right. Yeah, Rocky chilling. So music is a sonic interpretation of your environment. And if you try to relegate all music to Africa, or even if you try to relegate all music in America to the South, you're missing the point. New York pizza only tastes like that in New York. You can't get that New York pizza anywhere than goddamn New York. It has its own distinct flavor and theme. And if you got respect, you're going to respect it. I ain't never had catfish. Southern Louisiana, what the fuck do y'all be doing to catfish and shrimp? God damn. I remember my first time in New Orleans. I had some catfish. I was like, I felt like I gone to glory. I was like, what the fuck, you know? Yeah. How do it taste this fucking good? Catfish and shrimp and grits in Southern Louisiana is different than anywhere else in the fucking world. You can get that shit served all around the world, but it don't taste like Southern Louisiana, Lake Charles, New Orleans. It don't taste like that. Memphis. I remember my first time going to Memphis. Like, what? Memphis, different regions has got their distinct thing, and the key is to respect it. Don't be so quick to be like, well, that's from the South. No, respectfully, it's not. It's not. Maurice White could not have, even though Maurice White is from Memphis, he couldn't have done Earth and Fire in Memphis. He had to go to Chicago and then LA for that to take off. Earth and Fire wouldn't have taken off in Memphis. The same way Al Green wouldn't have taken off in LA. Al Green would have sounded completely different. It probably wouldn't have worked. Yeah, Rocky snoring his ass off. You got him. This nigga knocked out. That's why rhythm and blues. See, you hear this Anderson .Paak I'm playing right now with them strings. That shit was released in 2019. That's LA right there. That's the LA sound. Those grand, lush arrangements. That's LA. When they wanted to take the richness out of rhythm and blues, what did they do? They took the center of rhythm and blues out of LA, out of Chicago, out of Philadelphia, and moved it to Atlanta. When they killed R&B, they killed R&B in Atlanta. And I did a whole show on this years ago. I'm gonna re-upload it. I had to take it down because YouTube was on some bullshit, I think. Then I take it down. I'm gonna put it on Patreon. R&B died in Atlanta. Atlanta is when R&B got completely plastic. They said, fuck the live music, fuck all that shit. Matter of fact, fuck singing. Everything's gonna be on auto-tune. That had to happen in Atlanta. When it was in Philadelphia, Philadelphia wouldn't have allowed that. Too much soul in Philadelphia. You would have too much, but no, you couldn't do that in Philadelphia. You couldn't do that in Chicago. You couldn't do it in LA. Hell, you low-key couldn't even do it in Memphis. You low-key couldn't do it in Memphis either. But rhythm and blues died in Atlanta. And it didn't start off that way. Brick was from Atlanta, great. SOS Band from Atlanta, great. But when you get Outkast was great, but they never a rap. Even when Tony Braxton started, it didn't start off bad. Tony Braxton made some really dope ass LaFace. But you listen to songs like You Mean the World to Me. You don't have that live sound. You don't have that lush live. Tony Braxton's best music was all programmed music. Great arrangements, though. Great arrangements, great production, bad ingredients. LA, you're going to have that live band. Philadelphia, R&B was at its best when Chicago, LA, Detroit, and Philadelphia and Memphis. If you put R&B, if you center R&B in those cities, you're in good shape. But more so, Memphis is probably the only city down south that I'd center R&B. Memphis is the only southern city I was centered in. The other cities I would have, like, they gotten smaller. But really, Chicago, Detroit, LA, Philadelphia, those places do R&B right. Real singing. Yeah, Nashville destroyed country music. Atlanta's a real home of country music. Atlanta is country music's first home. Vince Martin said Atlanta does rhythm and bussy. Stop it, niggas. Bruh, chill. But when they wanted to destroy R&B, they moved it to Atlanta, home of the CDC. They had to lower the sound. Like my man Charlie Burrell. I was supposed to interview him a couple weeks ago. I gotta call him back. This album just dropped. This is my man Charlie Burrell right here. This album just dropped a couple weeks ago. And that's produced by Joseph Leonberg. Joseph Leonberg, LA trumpet player. That's on Death Row Records right there. Live band, live strings. That's on Death Row Records. Yeah. I like the new Death Row because they're doing rhythm and blues. They're doing live bands. This album with Charlie has live strings, everything. Nah, the South is not known for influencing live music in the hip hop. Death Row Records was doing that before R&B got to the South. Organized Noise did some live music, and Organized Noise specifically, yeah, them motherfuckers is music. Organized Noise is music gods. But, you know, all that West Coast, DJ Quick, all live. Hell, Short Dog played with live music with Too Short up in the Bay. You're going to have that live touch here in LA. Rocky over here knocked out. That's why we must respect each region where music comes from. Every region deserves its own respect. Because every region has its own thing. Every region has its own thing. We want to have that variety in music again. Yeah, I'm about to finish this live. I gotta give Rocky one final piss before he shut it down tonight. What's up, baby boy? You good? Yeah, we want variety in music. All of this one star. See what they did when they gave us these frauds like Jay-Z? Jay-Z's a fraud. They put that fraud right to the top. Elvis is a fraud. Put him to the top. Bruno Mars is a fraud. Eminem, Drake, they're frauds. Put them to the top. With this controlled, contrived message that ain't got no seasoning in it. Let's get the people conditioned to TV dinners, and let's make a TV dinner the biggest star on the fucking planet. And we're going to do that with Post Malone, Taylor Swift, she's a TV dinner. Across the board, The Weeknd, TV dinner. Bruno Mars, TV dinner. It's all TV dinner music. Britney Spears was TV dinner. Usher, TV dinner. Beyonce, TV dinner. Let's put all of our resources into one or two Negroes. Adele, TV dinner. We'll let a few more white people go out there, but 2 niggas and 4 white folks. That's what we gonna do. And then if we get 2 or 3 others, that's cool too. And let's give them this TV dinner music. Rihanna, TV dinner music. All TV dinner music. And you make the real talent right for this TV dinner shit. The real talent got to be the writers, and they're the producers. And they got to make these TV dinners work. You get these. How many times are you gonna say the same joke that nobody's gonna laugh at? I do a push up. I do a push up every time I elevate your mama's legs, nigga. That's some heavy ass fucking legs. It's like doing a goddamn military press. Damn, a push up. Elevating your mama's legs like that military press. It's like, goddamn. Feel like I got 4 plates on each side doing military press, trying to elevate her heavy ass legs. And she birthed you. That's how I know she ain't shit. You came out the wrong hole, nigga. You were supposed to come out the wet one. You came out the brown one. Because you ain't shit. Now back to what we talking about. Back to what we talking about. Music is something that is pure, you know? And I saw some of y'all telling me that Dr. Cologne dude wanted to debate me. I'm not talking to that dude. About a year ago, he called into the show, lying, and I shut him all the way down like this easy, and he disappeared. He ain't been in my chat room for a while. I hadn't heard from him. And I saw in the last week or so, a lot of y'all saying, Dr. Cologne wants to debate you. Why would I debate? What qualifies Dr. Cologne to talk to me? What instrument does he play? My first question is, what instrument does he play? And my second question is gonna be, what church did he play that instrument in? Because if you don't play an instrument, if you never went through that process of playing music in church, you don't know how to you don't know what it takes to put a song together. So there's nothing you can talk to me about. If you didn't play an instrument in church, you don't know what it's like to put together a song from scratch and then have to sing it unto the Lord with that level of excellence, where it's more than just a note, it's a groove, because it's those grooves that hip-hop samples, and that's what allowed hip-hop to thrive, the grooves of rhythm and blues and funk and disco. And if you don't know if you don't know the chemistry behind putting together those grooves, there's nothing I need to talk to you about. You're just a fucking consumer that likes music. Fine. But if you don't know what it's like to be there and take 6 months to put together a song, or sometimes one song takes 6 months to put together, other songs you get put together in 30 minutes. If you ain't been a part of that creative process, I ain't got shit to say to you. And if he learned music in school, in band class in the 10th grade, there's nothing. If you didn't, are you learning in band class in the 10th grade? Oh, we ain't got nothing to talk about. I learned in school too. And everything I talk to y'all none of that shit come from school. As far as a musician, my musicianship come from church. Even though I played in school, even though I took formal lessons. Appreciate that love in the chat. What's up, Rocky? You good? So I don't want to hear anything about Dr. Cologne wanting to debate me. Who is he to debate? Plus, what is there to debate? Hip hop is Black American, is a continuum on the Black American sound. If you cannot establish a consistent, a time period, a continuum, a timeline, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Nothing starts in Black music, in music period. It evolves, and then, because when you see these new innovations, you can trace where they come from. Yeah, although Jimi Hendrix was the first to really play with that loud, distorted amp like that, you can easily trace Jimi Hendrix to Muddy Waters and T-Bone Walker and Sister Rosetta Tharpe and Howlin' Wolf. And then when you hear Chuck Berry, you hear like the Eagle, you hear like Kiss and the Rolling Stones and all of them talk about Chuck Berry. But Chuck Berry, it comes from T-Bone Walker. You can trace the line. You can hear nothing but Parliament Funkadelic in the Zulu Nation. When you listen to Melly Mel and them rap, they sound like Frankie Crocker on the radio. You said, what about got loose ends? Archie, I don't really rank like that, because I be too busy enjoying the music to rank. I tell you the 4 artists I listen to the most. I can tell you that the 4 artists I listen to the most: Michael Jackson, is Earth and Fire, Parliament Funkadelic, and Stevie Wonder. Those are like my go-tos. But I listen to Roy Ayers probably just as much. I listen to Donald Byrd. I listen to Loose Ends. I listen to SOS Band, Slave. It just depends on how I feel. Frankie Beverly and Maze, Guy, Outkast. Probably listen to Outkast just as much as all of them. That's another reason why I get so thrown. I still get thrown off to this day when y'all come to me with, not y'all in particular, but when people come to me with regional stuff. Like, nigga, do you know that you're gonna in my playlist, you're gonna hear Nas after Ice Cube? and Kendrick, you're gonna hear Ice Cube, Kendrick, and Snoop. After them three, you're gonna hear it's Nas for me. Then DJ Quick. When it comes to groups, Outkast. Like I probably listen to Outkast more than any. When it comes to rap, I probably listen to Outkast more than any rap, anything in rap, in the rap genre. Probably Outkast. I would go say Outkast is probably tied up with Ice Cube as far as the music that if I'm listening to rap music, old school before Kendrick came out, Ice Cube and Outkast. I don't give a fuck. And after them it's gonna be Common. Common's from Chicago. I don't give a fuck what region a nigga come from. Either the music is dope or it's not. Niggas be tripping me out. You only said that because you from the West. Well then shit. If I pull up my Spotify, why is Common the number 2 or 3 played rapper? And why is Outkast number 1? I ain't talking about niggas I bump occasionally. I'm talking about albums I play from top to bottom regularly. And for me, I don't even listen to Tupac. Tupac is annoying to me. I like some Tupac, but I've never been a big Tupac fan. Like Tupac to me is like, I like what he's about. You know, I like the fact that he shot a couple of cops that was beating up on a black person. Most of what I like about Tupac, I probably listen to more YouTube interviews for what Reggie Wright and Suge Knight about Tupac than I listen to Tupac's music. I hated that song, Hail Mary. Hail Mary, come with me. I hate Hail Mary. I hate that song. I fucking hate that song, Hail Mary. Hail Mary, come with me. What do we have here now? Every time that shit come on, I'll be like, oh my God. I don't like California Love. I like Roger Troutman, but damn, I've always hated California. I'm not like I remember when All Eyes on Me dropped. I remember all these studio gangsters coming out of nowhere. Niggas raised in 2-parent households, dental insurance, life insurance. Now all of a sudden you saying cuz every other word because you like Tupac. Man, get the fuck out of my face. I don't listen to no fucking Tupac. To Live and Die in LA is my favorite Tupac song. Brenda, I hated Brenda's Got a Baby. But I don't listen to Biggie either. I think Biggie's like whatever. But let a New Yorker tell it if I say I don't listen to Biggie, oh, it's because you only from the West. That's why I don't have no tolerance for stupid people and limited minds. Because you missed the whole fucking message. I said that before. I don't really like Biggie. People was like, you just said that because you from LA and you don't like New York. Man, shut up. I'm telling y'all, tomorrow's show is gonna be. I'm be going hard on New York tomorrow's show. Cause New York they be acting. Those are the toughest acting bitches. Acting wise, and I'm calling everybody a bitch. I'm talking about how they act. They tough, but they be acting like you don't like it because you're not from New York. And why are you hurt? If somebody tell me they hate the West or they hate LA, I'm be like, so? I don't give a fuck if you hate LA or not. I don't give a fuck if somebody has a negativity. You just don't like LA, man. You just don't like, man. If you was from LA, I don't. Who the fuck? No. Matter of fact, keep your lame ass from here. It's too much goddamn traffic anyway. I don't want you coming here. Well, fuck if somebody don't like LA. I like it. The thing I like about LA is the fact that I like it. If nobody else on earth liked it, so I like it. I don't play that regional shit. I remember when All Eyes on Me dropped, everybody was playing that. I'd be like, here we go again. When All Eyes on Me dropped, nigga, I was still playing a Quimini, nigga. What's up, Rocky boy? Oh, you want me to rub you on your belly? This nigga Rocky be hamming it up. This nigga be like, rub me on my belly. This nigga be hamming it up. Look at him. Look at him. Nigga be hamming it up. Yeah, Betty boy. Yeah. Yeah, buddy boy. Yeah, you little spoiled little bastard. Yeah, love where you from. And like I love DJ Quick, but like I'm not a big fan of the game. Like I love Jesus Piece. Games album Jesus Piece, that's my shit. But outside of Jesus Piece, Game does too many weirdo things for me to be a fan of the game. The game is fucking weird to me. He always arguing with other niggas and this music ain't talking about shit. The last time when Lord Jamar said Game is more LA, I was like, what? I'm not a Game fan. I love Snoop. Musically, Snoop could do no wrong. If Snoop has put out plenty of projects I don't like, I just be like, okay, that project, I didn't like that project. But I'm gonna have my ears open for the next one. I love Snoop. But I don't listen to no YG. I don't listen to most of these LA niggas. Like I don't really listen to J-Rock like that. Problem is cool. I like Problem. You know, some stuff from Problem. But just because he's from LA, I'm not a big Tyler the Creator fan. I'm not gonna listen to him just because he's from LA. Yeah, Jason Martin. I was trying to figure his name. I'm so used to calling him the Problem. Jason Martin, you right. Yeah, Farside. Look, Farside's LA. But guess who I like more than Farside? Tribe. When I used to drive Uber back in the day, man, Tribe, I probably listened to Tribe. That got me through my Uber days. Because I remember when I was driving Uber, that's when I rediscovered Tribe. I liked everything Tribe when it first dropped. But when I was driving Uber, that's when I rediscovered Tribe. Man, I'd be in my Uber playing Tribe all night. I didn't drive. I never drove full time. I would drive like part time, like on Friday night and Saturday night, from like 9 a.m. to 2 a.m. I would like 3 a.m. I would drive the club hours. Man, and you don't want to be out there driving Uber at 2:30 in the morning listening to love music, nigga. You fall asleep. So Tribe got me through Uber. And I love Farside. Shouts out to Brown. But if you put a Tribe album out and a Farside album, I'm listening to Tribe 30 times to 1 over to the Farside. And I love the Farside. And they're LA. But I'm gonna listen to Tribe 40 to 1. I'm not gonna be like, no man, they from Queens. Well, fuck if they from Queens, they make good goddamn music. Give a shit where they come from. They're Americans, Jack. That's so goddamn small-minded. Oh man, it's dope. Man, but you know, they from nigga, Little Brother? Shit. Man, I can listen to Little Brother all day. I don't give a fuck if they from the South. It's good goddamn music. They done got everybody so, hip-hop done got everybody so regionalized. And it started with all these frauds. We have all these frauds in our music. And because we have so much fraudulent music, we get on these surface level debates about what city an artist is from, or how many top 10 hits they got, how many gold records they got, how much money they make. Ain't sharing none of that shit with you. Rocky get a little antsy, like he about ready to go piss. So I'm about to close this out, but I'm gonna close this out by saying this. The only connection we have to music is how it makes us feel. That's our relationship with music. How does this song make me feel? How do I feel? We don't get the artist money. We don't when if it goes double, triple platinum, they don't send me and you a platinum record to celebrate. They don't give us a direct deposit. We don't get a plaque for how many #1 streams that they got. We get none of that. The only thing we get is how that song makes us feel. What does that song make me do? So that's where my ear is tuned to. How does this song make me feel? What's up, Hurt? How does the song make me feel? And what does this song inspire me to do? Some songs are going to inspire you to break up. Some songs are going to inspire you to make up. Some songs are going to inspire you to sit down and settle down. So it comes down to what these songs make you do and how they make you feel. That's our relationship to the music. So stop all that. This song won this many Grammys and that artist has that many #1s. Ain't none of that shit for you, nigga. So what you bragging about, fool? The only thing that matters is how you feel. And these hip-hop frauds, these music frauds that we started today talking about, just pay attention. When those guys are brought up, when Drake is brought up, when Eminem is brought up, when Jay-Z's brought up, the whole conversation is going to be centered around how many gold records they got, how many platinum records, how many streams. Nothing about the feeling. Go to intellectualpower.net. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the Kool Moe Dee Willie D interview. So look for me at about 2 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. 2 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. Look for me around that time, all right? We're going to have a discussion. All right? I just want to make sure that you guys... He didn't say hip-hop is Gen X's father. God damn. Chill. See, my chat room, I can't be reading you niggas. Yeah, appreciate that, Aries. Joey Woodard. Everybody that's in here. Good conversation with y'all tonight. Y'all niggas and Biz Marti, all you niggas, nigga, go pray to Jesus. Cause y'all been saying some dumb shit tonight. All you niggas need prayer. Everybody pray for my minds, everybody else, all right? Pray for the chat room. Them niggas is funny. I appreciate y'all. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow.